We come upon some chat-worthy thoughts today, and they start with the book of Genesis, chapter 18, 1 through 16. And God has been dealing with Abraham and has been assuring him of the covenant, the promise. I mean, we go back chapters in this, and Abraham has taken matters into his own hands at least once. And he's been on this pilgrimage with God, but now he's by the oaks of Mamre. And I want to come back to that in a moment. He's sitting in the entrance of his tent, and it's there that some men came near him, and he runs up and he bows down and he begins to honor them like you would honor a stranger if you were a sojourner in the desert. He said, "My Lord, I've found favor in your sight. Don't pass by." And he offers hospitality, bread and curds, and he has his wife get ready, and they offer desert hospitality to the men who have arrived. And he sets the food before them, and they ask him, "Where's your wife, Sarah?" And he says, "There in the tent." And they said, "Well, we're going to come back, and Sarah will have a son." And Sarah was listening in the entrance, and she laughed because she was old. And she said, "I mean, this is ridiculous." I mean, she's having this internal conversation. But they said, and now it's the Lord speaking to Abraham. Uh, why did Sarah laugh and say, "Shall I indeed have a child because I'm old? Is there anything too wonderful for the Lord?" And then he set a time for returning. God is speaking through the guests, and Sarah denies laughing. And the answer is, "Yeah, you did laugh." And the men set off from there, and they looked toward Sodom, and Abraham went with them and sent them on their way. Now, there are several speculative identifications for where the Oak of Mamre is, somewhere in Hebron on the West Bank, or it's been identified through the years. There was an old oak tree that had been honored as the Oak of Mamre that was fell down in 2019, and and yet from a stump a new shoot came, and wherever it was, there's a lot of symbolism. You just pick your site, and there's a lot of symbolism there. But it was an old oak tree wherever it was. And the long-standing tradition is the oak of Abraham, the oak of Mamre would uh, would die before the appearance of the Antichrist. But the one that was identified seemed to die, and then a small sprig came out of it. I don't want to live there because wherever the actual oak was or is, the question that comes to us is, where has God appeared to you? Is it conceivable that he's appeared and you didn't recognize him? Is it possible that the vision of his presence was obscured by clouds of care, the haze of worry, or the glare of ambition? Might you have missed the meeting because you were too busy to behold the beauty around you? Have you ever passed by the same scene that you've passed by before and realized that you've missed the most significant feature of that place countless times? Do you have to go to the mountains or to the shore to really meet God? Can God be met in the plains? Abraham met God in a very ordinary place. We can meet him there as well. God is present, omni, in all, everywhere. Present is where God is. God is everywhere present, and where God is present, God is all present. He's present in the cities. He's present in the schools. No, he's not been expelled. You can't do that. He's present in the workplaces. He's in the country villages and the plains. He's in the high places. He's in the low places. He's where you are right now to receive him. The disciples in John 6:16 through 27, were out on the sea. And Jesus came to them in the midst of a strong wind and blowing. He was walking on the water to them. He was and is present. And he's present in Hebrews 10, where believers are getting discouraged and they're falling away. And the writer of Hebrews reminds them that they shouldn't slack because God is not slack, because God is still present. And those who have faith are the ones who are saved. The ones who have faith in this life and in the life to come are those who can see God as present and hope in God. Abraham was stretched to the point where anyone might have lost hope. Sarah was stretched to the point where she laughed at the prospect of hope. But God calls us to everlasting, eternal, and enduring hope. Wherever we are, God shows up.